In one of our previous videos, we went over RAM and storage drives, but are those the only storage options that exist? No, they're not. In this video, we're going to go and touch the surface of volatile and non-volatile storage, network storage like NAS and file servers, and also cloud storage. Let's start with volatile versus non-volatile memory. Volatile memory is temporary memory like RAM. As we discussed, it holds data for the CPU only while the computer is powered on. The moment the power is cut off, that data is lost. That's why it's always a good idea to save your work frequently or turn on autosave if the software supports it. Non-volatile memory includes your HDDs and SSDs. This type of storage keeps data long term and is not affected when your computer shuts down or loses power. Non-volatile storage is usually slower than volatile memory, but it's cheaper and it can store huge amount of data, often in terabytes. Volatile memory, on the other hand, is faster and more expensive, and it holds much less data compared to storage drives, usually somewhere around 2 gigabytes up to 128 gigabytes of RAM or even more. You can think of volatile memory like a work table. The bigger the table, the more things you can place on it and work faster. If the table is too small, you will constantly need to walk back and forth to the warehouse, which is your non-volatile storage, to bring more material. And that back and forth slows everything down because you don't have the data you need ready for the CPU. These type of storage are called local storage. Now, is there a way to have a storage outside of your computer but still be able to access it through Wi-Fi or Ethernet? Yes, that's called network storage. There are different types of network storages such as NAS, which stands for Network Attached Storage, file servers, and more. What is NAS and what does it do? If you want terabytes of storage but you can't add more drives to your laptop or computer due to limited space, a NAS is a great solution. You can either buy one or build your own, and it allows you to access storage over a network. NAS devices come in different sizes and forms, and of course, the bigger the NAS, the more you'll have to shake your wallet. One major benefit of NAS is redundancy. A NAS can be configured using different RAID setups. RAID stands for Redundant Array of Independent Disks. It means your data can be stored across multiple drives in a way that helps protect it. So if one disk fails, you can replace the faulty drive and recover your data. There are different RAID configurations such as RAID 1, RAID 2, RAID 5, and more, and each of them store data differently. Another big advantage is that NAS storage is shared on the network, meaning anyone on the network can access it if they have permission. And if you travel and forget a file on your laptop, you can access it remotely using a VPN as long as your setup allows it. One thing to keep in mind, if you want smooth performance with a NAS, make sure your hard drives and your Ethernet network speed match the performance you want. Otherwise, your storage access may feel sluggish. Next is file server. A file server can also do what a NAS can do. It allows you to store and share data on a network, but it provides more flexibility and functionality than a NAS. At first, when I read about file servers, I thought, this sounds just like a NAS. What's the difference? But after more research, it became clear that a file server can be more than just storage. A file server can be installed on a dedicated Windows or Linux server, while a NAS usually comes with its own vendor-made operating system, which limits customization. Also, NAS devices tend to be more limited when it comes to upgrades. You usually can't add more RAM or upgrade the CPU easily, while file servers often allow that. Because of this, file servers can be faster and more powerful. NAS devices are also often more portable, use less power, and are simpler for home users. Both have pros and cons, and I leave the deeper comparison for you to explore. And last but not least, cloud storage. And instead of buying and setting up a NAS or file server, you can use someone else's system. The provider already built the infrastructure, so you just pay a monthly fee and use their service. That means no hardware to purchase, no maintenance, no complicated remote access setup. You can access it from anywhere as long as you have internet. While With a NAS or file server, you also have to make sure your network is secure and protected from being hacked. Cloud providers handle much of that security for you. You just need to make sure that your login credentials are strong and not shared. Cloud storage sounds great, and for many people it is, but some people still prefer having their own NAS or file servers to save money long term, have more customization, or simply because they don't fully trust cloud providers with private data. That was about storage types. Thank you.